Please excuse my tardiness to this subject. I'm a little late to the party, but who arrives to parties early? As Kanye says, you should be honoured by my lateness. Today I'll try and shed some light on the Coinbase IPO that happened this week and whether you should buy into Coinbase, and I'll also offer my plan of action later on in the video, so stick around for that. Coinbase IPO'd last Wednesday on the 14th of April. It was listed at $250 per share, it rose to $429 per share and sank back to $328 per share. So it was a pretty mad day. Now I didn't invest in Coinbase immediately like I did with Airbnb because I didn't know how volatile it was going to be. It could be up and down like a yo-yo. So now it's settled down, I thought I'd do a bit of research and look into what happened, what is potentially going to happen with Coinbase in the future, and what are the potential risks of investing in Coinbase. So let's start with why you shouldn't invest in the Coinbase IPO or Coinbase as a company. Number one is you don't believe the crypto hype. So Coinbase have done very well and are very reliant on the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of the other large cryptocurrencies. They have done super well over this last year with the massive bull run that we've seen with Bitcoin and all of these other altcoins that are out there. But cryptocurrencies, like anything in the financial world, is actually cyclical. And although Bitcoin hasn't been around for as long, there is usually a 4-year cycle. So it goes up and then it goes down. We haven't quite reached the tip of the iceberg yet, but potentially that is coming soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and that will have a huge impact on Coinbase as a company. So number two is regulations. So although Coinbase is a cryptocurrency and cryptocurrencies tend to be decentralized, Coinbase as a company is not decentralized. Coinbase is therefore centralized, so they have to apply standards, procedures, regulations, all of that jazz, and that has a big impact on how they run and how they do their business. And potentially if the government decided they don't like crypto and they don't like Bitcoin, they could potentially ban it, or they could ban sellers of Bitcoin or miners of Bitcoin, or something that would have a huge impact on Coinbase's business model and the way they make money. But that is something that could potentially happen, although it is really hard to predict. Number three is it is a huge risk compared to other IPOs that have been going on. So like I mentioned earlier, Airbnb is a less risky company to invest in purely because of their business model. Airbnb obviously rent out properties, rent out rooms, rent out houses, boats, whatever, which there's always going to be houses, boats and whatever. It just obviously depends on how they do as a company and how they monetize that. However, crypto is not wholly adopted, it's not widely adopted, and that is the main business model that Coinbase runs. So unless they start bringing in additional revenue sources that are not related to crypto and that could potentially diversify their income and the revenue, then it is a lot higher risk than potentially Airbnb would be to invest in. Number four is that you think Coinbase are actually sellouts. The Financial Times said that the so-called Bitcoin maximalists also consider the platform a brazen sellout. They believe it has forsaken crypto's true principles for the golden goose offered by Wall Street. So in non-Financial Times lingo, it basically means that they have sold their soul to the devil. The people that own Coinbase just saw big dollar and pound signs in their eyes and they were like, money, 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 real hard cash. Because obviously they do have a lot of Bitcoin and they will be making a lot of money from Bitcoin. However, if it doesn't stay around and it's gone in 5 years' time, they want to make some cash from it. So that is probably where their thinking is. But on the flip side of this, it does make it more legit. They might be thinking that now Coinbase is on a stock exchange, that there is more value and more substance to crypto and the counterparts. Now on the flip side of this, why should you invest in the Coinbase IPO / Coinbase as a company? Obviously after you've done your own research. Now number one is the safety of Coinbase will increase from this happening. So there was a lot of arguments and a lot of people saying that Coinbase is a scam, etc, etc. But now they have to follow more regulations and they will be more stringent and follow more procedures, and in general it will just be a safer place to buy crypto and hold crypto, purely because of the scale of it, the investors that are involved now, and all of this stuff that will ultimately make Coinbase a better place to be and a better place to buy crypto. And obviously that's just my opinion, so it might not actually lead to that, but that's just my opinion. So if you don't like it, there's the door. It's over there. There's the door. Okay. Number 2 is what I briefly mentioned earlier, and the Coinbase IPO actually makes crypto more legit. Because in order for them to follow all of these regulations that I was talking about earlier, Coinbase will need to make the platform safer, and they will earn more credibility for doing so. So people will flock to them, and then hopefully they'll have more customers and more revenue, etc., etc. So it's like a bit of a snowball, and potentially very, very good for Coinbase. And the reason it is further legitimizing Bitcoin is that it just points towards not having a single person or single entity or single state or country owning a currency. Instead, it is based on algorithms and a completely decentralized model that allows transactions and everything that is needed to operate as a currency. So it's all heading in the right direction if you are a Bitcoin lover, Bitcoin bull, whatever you want to call yourself. And Forbes described the Coinbase IPO as crypto's coming out party. And I totally agree with that, and I think that crypto is here to stay, and it is sort of building the blocks into becoming a part of society even more as the months go on. So it's definitely something to consider and to do some more research on if you haven't already. I've got a few videos about Coinbase and crypto, so if you want to watch those, I will link them here. And the third one is you need to like that smash button, and then we can get on to the next one. I'll be waiting. And the third real reason is that Coinbase is actually a profitable company, and they recently just hit their earnings, so that is marvelous. Definitely going in the right direction, but we do have to remember that we are in a massive Bitcoin bull run, so this is making their figures astronomical. And in 2019, they did actually make a loss of 30 million because we weren't in a bull run. So you definitely need to consider that if you are going to invest. Number 4 is you can get some exposure to crypto without actually buying into it. So you can do this by buying Coinbase because they rely on crypto to make money. And also if you invested in Tesla, this is the same way of doing it. So this is what Warren Buffett does with gold. So he doesn't actually own any gold, but he owns the gold mining companies. So this is a very similar way of thinking. So you buy the crypto company rather than the actual cryptocurrency. It's all about identifying the trends and taking advantage of that, which is Warren Buffett's sort of speciality. So maybe think a bit more like Warren Buffett, and maybe that could help your decision making. But in my opinion, it would be better to own a little bit yourself actually in a wallet. Consider that, even if it's like 0.5% of your overall net worth. And the 5th pro is sort of a personal one, is I personally use this service. I use Coinbase, and I use Coinbase Pro, and I use their Coinbase wallet. So I use all of their features and I really enjoy them. They're really simple and easy to use. There is some complaints about how high the fees are, but in terms of safety, I feel very safe using them, and they do seem very reliable in my opinion. And if you want to try Coinbase out before investing into the actual company, then there's a link in the description where you get £7.50 free of Bitcoin. So that has been the good, the bad, and the me. I'm joking. I'm beautiful. So hopefully this is a thought-provoking video and has given you some ideas whether you should invest into the Coinbase IPO or Coinbase as a company. But just remember, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm just a random dude in a donut t-shirt. So please do your own research before investing your capital. But if you are interested in my plan, then here it is. I'm going to be adding Coinbase to my ARK Invest pie because Cathie Wood and ARK Invest have bought a lot of Coinbase. 341,000 to be exact, which is worth around $110 million. So when they're buying this amount, you really do have to take a look and see why they're doing that and identifying if that is the right thing. So I will be adding to my Coinbase position monthly and investing as usual as I do with my ARK Invest pie, and we'll just see how it goes. I'm not really as anti-establishment as some of the Bitcoin bulls are. I don't mind a bit of rules and regulations because it just makes me feel a bit safer. But I personally think this Coinbase IPO is actually a positive thing for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin especially. So that is my view on it. Feel free to argue with me in the comments and we'll go at it. And that's it from me. Make sure you subscribe, like that smash button, and comment some lovely things in the comments. And if you do want some free shares, then there's a free trade link, a stake link, and of course that Bitcoin link that I was talking about to Coinbase earlier. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm trying to help you become one. So peace.